Hi, everybody! Today we're going to see how I draw the Mandalorian and the Child. Just so you know, there's a coloring book that you can get through Amazon. Just follow the link in my description and you can get a coloring book to show me how you color to how I draw. Okay, pencils first and then Sharpies. So if you don't want to watch the pencil portion of the video where I sketch the entire thing out, look in the description and you'll find a link that you can click on that will take you to the Sharpie portion of the video. I'll even include one for color. But for those of you that are going to stick around, I'm going to start off with a quick sketch for myself and get us going. Okay, big dramatic pose on this one. Big old fighting stance. Okay, so it comes out today. I'm super excited and I just want to get going. That's basically it. No chit chat. No. Okay. I mean, we're gonna chit chat because what else are we gonna do? I'm gonna talk while I'm drawing, right? But what I'm trying to say is just I'm excited, and I don't know what else to tell you besides, man, this is gonna be fun. I love this series. Which is a huge contrast because what's funny is the last time that I did this, it was before the show came out, and I didn't know what it was going to be like. You know, it was like, well, hopefully it's going to be good, hopefully this and that. And as we went, I was obviously, as I did my drawings, it got, you know, I talked more about how I liked it and stuff like that. But but last time it was like, I don't know, we'll see. You know, hopefully it's good. I'm excited and that kind of thing. Now, you know, the show's out and we're going into season 2. I don't know when you're watching this. You know, obviously a lot of you are watching it now as it's happening. You know, the day of Friday. You know, what I'm trying to say is people that come back that, you know, watch videos and look up stuff and whatnot. You know, hopefully you're still coming back. But yeah. So I hopefully you're still excited and you are good with it. Now, let's talk about some controversy. I don't follow a lot of, like, people are saying this and people are saying that, but man, a lot of times, you know, people gotta post this, gotta post that, and they gotta get the clicks. So I see a lot of talk, a lot of, well, this is happening and so-and-so is gonna quit and that kind of stuff. So they're talking about, you know, who's gonna do what. I don't care. You know, I've got my complaints about the movies. I've got my complaints about the show. Nothing's perfect. But also, you know what? I'm not making it. So it doesn't matter what I say, honestly. It doesn't matter what you say. We can complain all we want, but it's basically up to the creators. And that's fine with me. You create, I'll watch. I'll complain. You know, I'm gonna have my critiques, obviously. You know, but see, I'm trying to nail this foot. Like, how do I want the foot to be? Maybe a little like that. There we go. And that's what sketching's all about. Trying to find the pose you want with what you got, you know? So yeah. So what I was saying is, you know, I heard people complaining about, well, he's taking off his mask, or he's, you know, gonna do this, or you know, Yoda's now a Wookiee, and I'm just kidding. I'm making a lot of this up. But yeah, I just see a lot of people complaining, and I'm fine with all this stuff. I'm good with just give me a show to watch. I'm super excited. Give me toys more than anything. Let's talk about that. Give me some toys. What is going on, guys? You know, stuff's starting to come out a little bit more now, but we need more toys. I need more of my Black Series toys. And I know that's a little crybaby complaint. You know, people are dying. It's a pandemic. We're supposed to stay inside and whatnot. And I'm complaining about not getting enough toys. Well, I'm complaining because I can, and because that's the worst thing that's happening in my life right now. So I'm happy with that. I will take that I'm complaining about toys rather than where am I going to get my next meal, who's passing away, you know, who stole from me, that kind of thing. So I'm fine with that little complaint, you know. Like I said, it sucks, and I shouldn't be complaining, but you can have your opinion, and don't feel bad about having your opinion. Okay, I think that might be good enough. to get us going, because we need to get going. There's a lot of stuff in this one, and I want to make sure that I have room for it all, or time for it all, more than anything. And this sketch worked out pretty well, that I think, like even a few quick lines there, I think I captured what I wanted. And so I can pretty much get going, and we need to get going. I got a lot in this one. All right, so let me erase some of these sketch lines, but just a little, because it's gonna guide me. And usually what I tell you is erase the sketchiness and keep the confidence. Well, the sketch lines worked. I'm confident with my sketch lines. So I can erase, because also ultimately I want my Sharpie to stand out. I want you to be able to see what I'm doing with the Sharpie rather than pencil. But I gotta erase some of these pencil lines for the Sharpie to stand out, so the pencil line doesn't stand out. But I also need something to guide me, so I have to be very careful with what I'm gonna erase here. I think that'll work right there. I think that leaves enough that I can build on this. Look at that eraser falling apart. This is a kneaded eraser. You knead it, K-N-E-A-D. But it sounds like N-E-E-D, right? Like, Ma, I need an eraser. But now it's like, Ma, a kneaded eraser. And she's like, I know that's a kneaded eraser. All right, let's welcome everybody that skipped. Welcome, skippers. Welcome to the Sharpie portion of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because I do a different drawing every day. You can join along and have some fun. I'm going to be using a Sharpie fine point and a Sharpie pen, mostly the fine point, but the pen's a little finer than the fine point. You can find things that a fine point can't quite find. I've sketched the entire thing out. I've erased a majority of my sketch lines, but left enough to guide me on the Sharpie adventure, so I'm going to get started with the Sharpie fine point. Scratch that. I'm going to start with the Sharpie pen, because I can control the line width much better. And there's a few tiny details I want to get right, like the mask. So, I'm back and forth. I'm sorry, I'm back and forth. I'm just excited to get going. I'm going to start with the outline of the head, then I'm going to come back in with the eye slits. So I'm going to do the outline first. And I've already sketched it out, so that's why I'm kind of tracing where I'm going. So I'm going to go up like this, out a little bit for the ear, but you can't see it so much because his head's turned. He's facing this way. So I'm going to come around for the dome. I'm going to kind of do a little bump like that, come down back this way. And again, there's a little ear on this side, come down this way. And it's not going to be perfect. I'm okay with that. I'm perfectly fine with that. So this is going to be the center. I'm going to go back this way. Like that. Okay, so that's basically the rough shape of the dome, right? So let me go back and hit it up. Oops, I lost my picture. I got those Entertainment Weekly pictures. You know, that's all I have to go by because it hasn't started yet. Well, it's starting now. Like, this is going to be released. I'm going to do this on Friday when the show comes out. So I'm excited about it. Okay, so I'm going to do his eye slits going across. Let me go ahead and do his ear so I know where to stop. Something like that. Same thing over here. That's where that part is. So I'm just going to go pretty much straight across, kind of curve it, but then curve back this way just a hair. So he's almost pretty much straight across. But I wanted to do this with the Sharpie pen because I can control the line width much better, and I wanted it subtle. So see how these lines versus this thick outline is completely different, and that's what I was going for. Okay, so this slit is going to go across here, like that. This is almost looking like a trooper mask, right? Okay, so I'm going to continue a line going across. It's just a decoration line. This is all going to be black. It looks kind of like a double line, but it's just more of a decoration line. Now I'm going to continue this up like this. I'm going to try to fix that. That kind of got messed up, so I'm going to just kind of fix it to kind of look like it's one complete piece. Something like that, okay? Now, we got to do the little indentions on his face, so I'm going to come up here and do this. If you can come back down on the side of it, perfect, do like that. If not, don't worry about it. Not that big a deal. And then this one here too, we're going to come up and go back this way. going to connect right there. There you couldn't really see it as much because of the way that the piece is facing or turned. So I'm going to go back this way like that. This one comes down like this. And then we're going to do one more like that. And that's for his indentions in his face. And I think that's all we're going to do for the head. Let me try to, again, accent this a little bit more like that, just to give it that shape, that Mandalorian shape, that iconic shape, like that. Awesome. Also, this is BESKAR armor, so this is going to be the shinier one. Okay, so, or season 2, obviously. So now I always want to draw what's in front and then draw what's behind. So the first thing that's in front is the child. So we're going to go ahead and draw his strap down to the child, and then we're going to start drawing stuff behind, because you always want to draw what's in front, then behind, because you only have to draw so much. Like if I'm drawing 2 hands, all I got to do is draw 4 fingers and the other hand is behind. So what's in front first, then behind. So I'm going to follow my sketch. His shoulder is going to be up, so I can't see as much of we'll draw the shoulder like this. See, that's going to be in front of the strap. So I'm going to draw the strap with some, it's got like a leveled layer to it. So I'm going to come in like this and follow my sketch down to the child. So basically this is just his strap that's coming down to it. So I think I want to switch over to the small Sharpie for that. And we're just going to draw his head basically. And so I'm going to draw the top of his head like this, down to his little face, and his ear is going to be back this way. Something like that. And I'm not too worried about all the specific detail on him. I'm going to try to get it right, but again, this is kind of like he's a what do you call it? An accessory at this point. You know, it's like we're not here to draw the child. So I'm not too worried about how perfect I get it, you know? And the color and all that stuff, I'll do that later. I'm not worried about the lines or inside the eye or that stuff, because like I said, that's going to be taken care of with color. Are you excited about the show? Have you watched it yet? Okay, right, you know what? Let's talk about this. No spoilers. Let's not talk about the show yet. If I see any spoilers and if I see any thing on here before Monday, I'm going to delete them. Just because not everybody has a chance to watch it right away. And I know there's nothing you can really spoil. I mean, obviously, it's the first episode, and it's not like you're going to say, Luke Skywalker's, you know what I mean? It's like, it's nothing major is really going to happen, but let's not ruin it for everybody. But I do want to talk about it. Let's talk about the show. I mean, you know, heck yes, let's do it, you know? Draw his little fingers over like that. We'll do the other one like this. And then I'm going to draw the edges of the sack that's holding him. So yeah, so I don't mean to say let's not talk about it at all. I'm super excited. I want to talk about it. I've got nobody to talk to about this. But let's just not spoil it for everybody is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so I'm going to connect the strap like this. And I'm going to start to connect it down here just because I don't want to accidentally draw through it with this big Sharpie. But I think that's going to work. I think that'll give me enough freedom to draw the rest of it and not worry about what I accidentally draw through. That should be fine. Okay, here we go. All right, so let's draw a little sack now. I've got his leg raised because of the way he's standing, so I'm gonna do something like this. Okay, and that'll kind of raise it to a level that we need for the way he's positioned. All right. Cool. All right, there we go. Okay, so let's draw. Now I want to draw his gun. That strap is across right there, and I know we're drawing a lot of straps first, but again, we kind of need to define a few things before we draw what's underneath it. So let's see, this strap is kind of holding his cape on as well, so I'm going to go ahead and draw his neck, and we'll say we can draw his armor piece up like this. That's holding on his cape. It's going to go back like that over his shoulder, and so now I can draw the strap going across here. And see what I'm saying? How you got to draw what's on top first, so I don't draw through what's going on here. These are going to be his little pieces. So I can't remember what those are called, but everybody has them for some strange reason. These are like these I think they're for his gun, right? But these little like tube things everybody carries in their pockets. But it's like everybody has them, you know what I mean? So it's almost like I think he used them for his gun. But like I said, if you notice, like Han Solo has them, Tarkin, you know what I mean? Everybody has some. So that's what I'm wondering. Is like, what are they? But again, I'm trying to find define logic in Star Wars stuff, and a lot of times it's like they add greeblies on. And greeblies are the little things that they make to add on from ships and whatnot to make it look authentic. So that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to add logic to illogical things that aren't necessary. You know, it's like, just enjoy the show. Just stop complaining and enjoy the show. All right, so there's his neck, and he's got like a cloth piece that I like putting creases and folds in. So let's go ahead and do his chest down, and then we can do his arm. So I'm going to draw his armor. Let's see, this one you can't see as much because it's covered up. So I'm going to draw his armor down to his breastplate like that. We'll do the other one down like this to the breastplate, but I'm going to do those with the smaller Sharpie. So we're just basically doing the outline again. Okay, and this one, I've got them kind of twisted to the side a little bit. So this one's going to be out this way and coming down, and it's going to go across under here. Okay, and that's going to tuck, and there's another piece, but that's going to tuck into his belt. So let's go ahead and draw, let's add the detail to this armor, and then we can move on. So see, I wanted to do subtle armor pieces like this, so we can add little subtle highlights to complement these thick lines that are happening right here. And let's see, here's another one going up like this. All right, there's more in there, but again, I think that's color. We'll take care of that with color. Let's not worry about that. So let's draw his arm now that I have a defined edge, and build from there. So I'm going to draw his shoulder piece like this. A little more rounder there. I don't know why I dented it in like that, but that's okay. I'm okay with not being perfect, you know? Okay, so we're going to draw, let's see, the edge like this. Again, I'm complementing it with the smaller Sharpie. If you're working with pencil, go for it. Don't worry about what's complementing anything. You just work with what you got. Okay, and there's the edge of that. And again, we're going to take care of the rest with color to make it highlighted and shine. And so I can draw his sleeve, which is pretty much just cloth right here, but his arm is going to be bent in and holding on to Baby Yoda underneath. So we don't really have to worry about the detail. It's back behind Baby Yoda, the child. I'm still stuck with saying Baby Yoda like everybody else. Okay, so there's his arm into his launcher forearm piece. And again, see, his arm's going to be back behind him like that, so we're kind of getting away with not drawing as much. But I want to add some detail here for his wrist rocket piece. And I'm just kind of making it up. I mean, I'm looking at a picture, but again, it's too detailed to get perfectly drawn by all the small tiny Sharpie detail, so I'm not too worried about it. But we can add his cloth detail, because this is nothing but cloth. Okay? So again, his hand is down here holding on to Baby Yoda, so I'm not too worried about anything else. Let me clean up some of this. Alright, so we're good there. So let's go ahead and do the other arm, and then we'll work our way down. So this shoulder is raised up, so this shoulder pad is going to be raised up. So that's why I wanted to do it over this, because of the way that it's going on top, being raised up. So because when you raise your arm, your muscles got to go somewhere, so your shoulder lifts up a little bit and moves with your movement, really. Okay, so he's also got his mud horn. Let's see if we can do that real fast. Just kind of something. Doesn't have to be exact. Because again, kind of like with facial features, sometimes this stuff is too small to get perfect, you know? So I just like doing little things like this just to kind of place them there, you know, but you know, it's almost, again, too small to worry about the details. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna have his arm sticking out and pointing his gun. So I'm gonna draw his sleeve wrinkled up like this. Again, because this is all cloth, armor, cloth. And cloth, I like to do a lot of creases and folds to show that it's cloth, and also to make it come alive, you know, to give it some life. I'm gonna draw his wrist, and then I'll come back and add some detail or the wrinkles and folds in the cloth, so it's not just negative space. All right. And usually also when your arm is raised like this, you really bunch up your material here, so I like to add a lot of stress that it's wrinkled up. And remember, you don't have to draw the exact lines I'm drawing. You know, you draw what you draw, because ultimately this is how I draw. You draw how you draw, and we'll meet somewhere in between. But I don't want you to stress out that I'm drawing too fast with these little lines. I mean, that's great if you want to do them, but don't worry about it. You do what you want to do, okay? All right. Let's see. I do see some lines like this in his little wrist piece. Okay, so gun. He's just holding his gun out, old Wild West style in a gunfight. So I'm going to draw his thumb like this, because the thumb's over everything. And then everything's wrapped, fingers are wrapped around. So I'm going to draw the barrel of his gun, or I'm sorry, the barrel of his gun, the handle of his gun, like this, because that's visible. Then the fingers are wrapped around it. So the middle finger is going to be like this, ring finger, oops, pinky. Okay? Because when I wish I had something here. When you're holding a gun like this, your hand isn't closed and you just draw the outside. It's around something. So you're going to see the back end a lot of time of what you're holding on to. Okay, so the middle finger, the ring finger, oh my gosh, I'm all over the place. I'm just excited. Is out like this into the trigger. Oof. I'm just all over the place. But you know what I don't have? A good picture of his gun. Again, I'm looking at those Entertainment Weekly pictures, and there's no picture of his gun. I should have done a little bit more research, so we're just gonna wing it. I kind of got a good idea. We're winging it. Okay. The one thing I'm not crazy about is the gun. I mean, it's awesome, and I would love to even have one, you know what I mean? But it's like, it's very flat, you know? Again, my drawing is not really gonna do it justice, but it's a flat designed gun that is less Star Wars than I expected it to be, you know? Because it's got this weird shape like this. But, you know, hey, I'm the one who can't draw it, so I shouldn't be complaining at all, right? But I guess what I'm saying is a lot of the guns from before, like when they designed them, they based them on real guns. So they do have a real world look, you know? This one, there's something strange about it, this curved piece right there. I haven't warmed up to it yet. And I hate to say that because, you know, I love Star Wars and whatnot. And I love everything about this. I love the design and all this stuff. But yeah, there's just something about it I haven't warmed up to, and I don't know why. But again, it's my opinion. It's how I draw. This is how I feel. So that's just how it is. Okay, let's draw his gun back behind him again real fast because it's going to go through here, and I don't have to worry about the bottom. I could just draw the shape like this because it's it should have come up a little bit more like that because it's back behind him. That's all I really got to draw. Like, see, it should be more of a point. We'll go ahead and do that like this. There we go. And this side is the barrel, the heavy meaty parts right there. So we're just going to draw the barrel through like this. Okay, and then we're going to do that that Y part. Why? Because we want to. I fit in some Disney stuff there. That's old Mickey Mouse stuff. Okay. There we go. Awesome. All right, we're gonna go a little long on this video, but I'm gonna try to wrangle it in. All right. Okay. So he's got a belt, and so let's go ahead and draw this belt now. I'm gonna draw a little top piece that's above everything, and then the belt underneath it. So see, I wanted to make sure I drew that first, and that's why you always draw what's on top, and then you come back and draw what's on bottom. And there's more detail into this that I probably should just let go, but you know, sometimes I like drawing all this little stuff. Like I said, they're called greeblies. I mean, it's not a greebly, but whenever they would make the old Star Wars models, they would take stuff from ships, battleships and stuff like that, you know, real stuff, and add it on. And those little things, they called them greeblies. Oh, wait, I'm gonna draw through something. Okay, so there's also another piece underneath here that's kind of tucked in right there, coming down like this. And so it goes back up, but you can't really see it as much because of the way it is underneath everything. But it is like the last piece of his chest piece. Okay, now we're drawing his legs, and so let me see if I can draw his armor, all that stuff. So now we're just going to be drawing like legs. Let's draw a piece of armor right here. You know what I don't have? A Mandalorian toy. And I was talking about this in the sketch that I can complain about toys and all that stuff because I'm lucky that that's all I'm complaining about in life, you know? But with the everything that happened, I never got one. I never got a Black Series toy because they were just so hard to find and all this stuff. And so now I'm waiting on the next round to come out. And I was saying how they're just so hard to find right now because, you know, with the pandemic and everything, none of the stores were prepared for what happened. The everybody staying home and ordering online and whatnot. So everybody was short of stuff. So I'm hoping as the holidays come that they're going to restock and do stuff like that. But man, couldn't find one. Still cannot. You know, we'll see what happens. Okay, so I'm going to draw his knee tucked into his little knee pad there. And I just wanted to do that edge just so I can come back up, draw his crotch, and the other leg bent down in like this because of the way it's going across. And I'm going to add some detail in a second, but I just wanted to get us there first. And his other armor piece is underneath the child. So all I'm really doing is drawing like this. And then I can come back in, tuck this one in here too. Like that. Okay. Okay, so now that I did the major bends, I'm going to draw some minor bends. And because I like drawing creases and folds in the crotch and waist, because when they're in a dramatic stance like this, they're putting a lot of stress on their what do you call them? The places, pivot points. And so you're bending a lot of your material, and so it gives it a lot of life, and it makes it look stressed out and bent, you know. So I like adding the many creases and folds that stuff like this causes. Makes it come alive, you know. Let's see, I can add a little bit of detail here. All right, okay, we're getting close. So now we're just gonna draw his knee pads, and I'm just gonna like come across here because he's also got more armor stuff here, weapon stuff, like his bullets, basically. I just want to make sure I didn't draw through them, and then I can draw where they're held on. That. I'll add some detail there in a second. I'm just going to come down here, finish off this leg. Let's just get going. Come down here for the armor. Then I'll add some detail in a second. Let's just go ahead and finish off this foot, and then come back and add more detail. Okay, so I know that's kind of strange, but just bear with me. Just hang on a second. Let's go ahead and start adding a little bit of armor detail, just to define a few things. And let's see, this is going to come across like this. There are edges, so I'm going to go ahead and draw those just to highlight and break up that negative space. This is pretty much just cloth, you know? His little boot style that he's got. Okay, and it's pointed right at you. That's why it's kind of looking like that. So last thing we're gonna do is the cape, but let me finish this leg real quick. We'll do this one and then we'll get going. So this one, he's got that knee piece like this, and it's got a little extra raised indentation to it that's in front of the whole thing. So we'll do something like that. There are those little, I don't know if they're rockets or if it's a gun or something, but it's something on that side. It's something, that's all I can tell you. And we're just gonna add a little bit of extra cloth on this side. Then the like wrapped around piece here. Again, the cloth coming down. And then we'll add detail. But again, let's add some more of this shoe piece. There's that one. Now we're gonna do this one and come down to the front. Something like that. Again, let's add some detail. Then last thing I'm gonna do is I'll add that cape, okay? So, come across here like this. And let's see, it's got like a little indentation, but not too worried about that. Okay, again, this is kind of cloth going across. It's just like his arm, it's just wrapped up material, is all it really is. This is a little bit thicker, so I'm going to try to highlight a little bit more. Not as thick as the outline, but just highlight that it's a different piece. Okay, we're going to give him a tread, a little something like this. Then I'm going to draw those lines like I did over like that. And then what we did there, the little specific Boba Fett lines. These were always on his shoe and they always stood out to me, so that's why I just want to make sure I put him in there. All right, so last final thing, let's just add a cape and we're good. Now let's go watch the show. All right, so I've got it over his shoulder right here. It's going back over there, so we're gonna kind of let's say it's flowing back here, so all you see is like a little bit like this, going back this way. So then we'll do some more of it coming back here like this, kind of in, something like that, and the rest of it's flowing this way. So let's do like a something like that, okay? Got it all ripped. Something like that. A few more little highlights. We're good. Just add some rips and tears just to kind of make it worn. There you go. I say we take care of the rest with color. So that is the Mandalorian and the Child from Season 2. So here's how I colored it. Tell me what you think in the comments below, or show me what you did in our Discord group. Just have fun and make it your own, because remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw, and we'll meet somewhere in between. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures with How I Draw. Plus, don't forget to hit that notification button for new videos.